Jason and Jabari. Jason and Jabari.
What's up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason and Jabari Gaming, and today I thought I would take the time to let you guys know which champions I am considering taking to rank 4. I believe next week we will be getting content, the Epoch or whatever, the Pain or whatever it's called. I forgot, the name escapes me. For a class-based gym to take a champion to rank 4. For most of us, that's going to be our very first rank 4. Following that, they will also have the Valentine's Day deals. And they said if you get everything, something along those lines, then you would be able to get a fully formed T7 basic. So for me, a fully formed T7 basic plus the one that we get from the Epoch will allow me to naturally do a rank 4 champion. So basically I'll be able to do 2 rank 4 champions essentially. So I thought it would be a good time to discuss which champions I'm considering taking to rank 4 and as to why. So this is my account. If you disagree with who I am considering, that's completely fine. You can always let me know in the comments. It's not going to change my opinion of who I'm going to take up though, but you are more than welcome to feel free to say, hey, I disagree with you saying that because of this. That's completely fine. Or you could just let me know who you are planning to take up to rank 4 and as to why, because I think that'll be a lot more productive. And, I'll be happy for whoever you guys choose, right? But there will not be a consideration to change my opinion of the champions that I want to take up personally. So hopefully no one takes offense to that, but I sometimes believe that people try to influence and sway my own personal decisions for their own personal projections, for lack of a better term, right? And I honestly do not care. Like, this is my account. I'm going to do exactly what I want to do with it, and that's okay. And I feel the same for you guys in your accounts, right? So that being said, let's start with science. I am going to go ahead and say I'm going to give you like my top 3 options for each class. But what I will also say is that the class gym that I pull, I will not generically take up the same class, right? So if I pull science, then I won't rank 3 a science after I've already got, or rank 4, excuse me. I won't rank 4 another science. It will be a different class, 100%. So within the science class, I think the science class is very strong. My considerations for the science class, in no particular order, guys, in no particular order, would be Photon for sure. This champion has grown on me tremendously. I think she's a great dual threat champion. And she's very, very strong in Alliance War, Battlegrounds, questing content. Her immunities are strong. Her utility is strong. So I'm heavily considering Photon as one of my first rank 4 science champions. Next up would be Titania. Titania has a massive health pool. She's incredibly strong. Her buff immunity makes her very, very strong for various matchups. Not only for war, but also in BGs, same as Photon. And again, another dual threat. In fact, I think she's probably more of a stall option in certain scenarios than Photon is. Photon, as soon as you learn how to play her and stuff like that, she is still tough. I don't want to take away how good she is as a defender, but Titania with the haymaker stalls on time, and the more health that she has at a rank 4 level, she can literally make you timeout. Quite literally. I don't think that she's a better defender, though. To be perfectly clear, I don't think she's a better defender than Photon, but in certain situations in battlegrounds with certain nodes and stuff, she can be a stall option to have you stall, timeout at various times, whereas Photon may not. But that's okay. I honestly don't think that she's a better defender, but I do think that she can be a dual threat for sure. Lastly, I know a lot of people think I'm going to say Count Nefaria because, going down the line, but honestly, it's Piggy. It's my Piggy. You guys know my love for Piggy. Back when 5 stars were a thing, I took him up. I told people how good he was, and then slowly but surely I saw some people taking him up. I'm not saying that was because of me, but I am saying that they recognized his potential, and it just solidified what I was saying in the first place about him. He's a very, very good champion, dual threat. I think he's awesome. So yeah, those are the 3 that out of the science class I would consider taking up to rank 4. I do love Count Nefaria as well, and if if we had like a top 5, he would be there for sure, but we're gonna stick to 3 for now. Okay, moving on to the skill class. Skill class is interesting, and also I think I need to tell you guys that I do value defenders more so than attackers, 1,000,000%. For me, the list would probably look like defenders, and that's because of battlegrounds, and AW, dual threats, and then attackers, because I am in a position to where I have 54 rank 3 champions, and I think that the next tier up, the lower tier next to the highest tier, can still compete. So essentially what I'm saying is these rank 3 champions that I have that are attackers will suffice for now. So as far as skill goes, the first champion I would consider taking up honestly would be Atuma. You guys know he was my first rank 5 champion as a 6 star. For the people who's been on the channel long term, they know that. I still love this champion. Granted, any champion that I take to rank 4, I'm going to try to get to Sig 200. So just bear that in mind. I think Atuma is very strong. I think the damage back that they're going to be taking will be even greater, which is always good for BGs because health really matters. And if they don't have anybody that can stop taking the damage back from hitting him, they're in trouble. Secondly, the next champion that I would consider would be Bullseye. Bullseye is super nasty, especially with that block pin. He's still very hard to fight against because of the specific way you need to fight him. Granted, there are more counters coming out to him, but still, if they don't know how to fully dex his SP1, they're going to take some block damage, which again, health matters. And offensively, he's not bad. Pushing him to that higher level will help him out immensely on attack, because I do utilize him on attack against like photons and things and stuff like that. And him at a rank 4 punching down definitely can get you some wins, 100%. Okay, lastly, it would honestly be between Korg and Killmonger, and honestly, I personally would be going Korg. My Korg Sig 200. I value Korg. I think he's still a strong defender because again of Thorn's damage and stuff. Granted, there's ways you can take him down without taking damage, but for the most part, he's a great stall option. He has a lot of health, right? He's almost at 100k, so definitely a good stall option in my opinion, and can still trip people up to this day. Again, the honorable mention here would be Killmonger. I do love Killmonger. I think he's a great dual threat, but I don't think he's a better defender than Korg. That's my opinion. That's not fact. That's not law. And if you disagree with that, that is completely fine. But in my opinion, Korg is the stronger defender personally. But there's both ways you can play around them both. So there's arguments that could be made for both sides. But yeah, that's just me. That's my opinion. Moving on to the mutant class. All right, I love the mutant class personally. X-Men was my favorite cartoon growing up, and yeah, I resonate with the story of the X-Men and all that stuff, right? Um, my favorite mutant champion in this game is Nightcrawler. Um, he would be a consideration to go to rank 4. I know he's commonly known as an attacker, but he's actually really a dual threat, is what he is. And that is my reasoning, because I could slap him on defense. Granted, if you know how to switch him, he won't be much of a threat, but sometimes it's harder to switch him, and you add some block pan on him, and yeah, man, he can definitely catch some people, especially even if you did switch him, he actually can switch himself back, which is pretty cool. And with more health means more time, means more opportunities for you to mess up. And if he catches you with just a single hit, man, not only can you take the red burst damage from a critical bleed, but you can also take crit damage, which his critical rating is decently high. It's over 30%, I believe. Well, just at 30%. It's at 29.1, so close to 30%, which is actually decently high. So yeah. The next champion I would consider taking to rank 4, honestly, would be Negasonic. I like Nega. I think she's an amazing champion. Again, I vehemently disagree that she does not have incinerate immunity. Makes no sense, but this is not a rant. I just am a huge fan of Nega. I have been since the champion came out. She is extremely strong against the skill class. She does the skill class very, very well, and her critical rating is off the charts. It's at 41 too. I don't know if there's anybody higher than that. She is just absolutely critting out the wazoo. But she's just very strong. Now, she's extremely squishy, but she actually is a dual threat. Granted, more and more people are learning how to fight her, but she still can be viable on defense, especially if they don't understand how to play her. So yeah. And the third choice for me personally, I know everybody's going Onslaught. I think Onslaught is amazing, period, hands down. But the third choice for me personally, granted, this is with here's the thing. I plan on using my gem on this champion. If I did not have a way to awaken this champion, this would not be my third option. That being said, it's going to be Sinister, right? Sinister is incredibly strong. I've loved Sinister from the day he came out. I thought this champion was amazing. Again, my Sinister will be awakened when I complete Epoch, whatever it is. So yeah. And then I'm going to take him to a decent Sig. Again, if he's going to rank 4, the goal is Sig 200, and we'll get him there, right? So that is the logic behind that. If he's unawakened, he's not my third option. But since we do have a choice to awaken these champions, he's definitely going to be the third option. And again, he's not like number 3 in line, because I'm not telling you guys to order for a reason. But he's the third consideration, right? The honorable mentions, of course, would be Bishop and Onslaught. I love those two champions. I like Domino as well. So she definitely needs to be an honorable mention. But I'm just not feeling them enough to take them up as the number 1s. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the Cosmic. So one of the choices that I would consider taking up would be Maestro. Maestro was I finished what was it? Necropolis within the first week that it came out. So I was one of the first to have a rank 3 Maestro, unawakened for the longest time. Now he's awakened Sig 104. Yeah, he'll definitely go to rank 4, man. That block pen is nasty with his awakened ability, and that's more cosmic radiation. And again, I would be trying to get him to Sig 200 if he's the play. Great for AW, great for battle rounds. And he's just a tank. On offense, he's a dual threat because of the glancing, so you're not going to be taking a ton of damage back. Even on their specials, if you know how to dex them or parry them, you're not going to take as much. So he's very sustainable in my opinion. And defense, he's just a whole other animal. Granted, at this point, there's counters for basically every champion. So to have the argument that this champion nukes him, that champion nukes it, is at a moot point, guys. It's just at a moot point. I mean, you can tell me that all you want, and that's fine. But yeah, every champion, no matter who you say, has somebody that can nuke them. And not just one champion, but multiple champions at this point. There's over 300 champions in the game, so it makes sense. But to me, it doesn't take away the fact that these defenders that I'm naming and or dual threats are still very, very good. Okay, so the next one that I would take up for consideration, and this one obviously is a no-brainer, is Serpent. The most balanced champion in the game, in my opinion, for sure, hands down. That was super condescending. Yeah, but he's nasty. He can be utilized as a dual threat this BG's meta. More so than ever. You can actually automatically use him as a dual threat, but he's not as good as he is in this meta on attack or defense. So yeah, he's just nasty all around. So I definitely consider taking up Serpent. I know a lot of people have Serpents and Deathless Thanos, and Serpent, yeah. It's actually not going to be Deathless Thanos for me. It's going to be Medusa. Medusa was my second or third rank 3 5-star champion when she first came out. I did the featured for her and I got her on my birthday. I was so happy. I remember Brian Grant, BG, was really praising her, and he was taking her into high tier war, and I was so impressed. And I felt the same way about her as well, and I took her up and never regretted it. I had such a good time with her, and the nostalgia is definitely back. She's still viable in today's metas, and yeah, man, it would definitely be her for sure. But Thanos would be an honorable mention. He's just not going to be one of the first. So yeah. Okay, moving on to tech. All right, guys, let's not kid ourselves here. I will just come out and say this publicly now. If I get a tech gem, it's going to be Kang. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to play games with you guys. Kang is my favorite champion for a reason. He's going to go first if I get a tech gem. Period. Point blank. I will come out and say that right now. You guys know I'm not kidding. It's Kang. All right. But other honorable mentions that we would have here would be Guardian, Sentinel, Shocker, and yeah, that's about it. Those would probably be the honorable mention. I do like Arcade and I do like Starkey, but Starkey's offensive, and again, I'm not going offensive first. I really don't like Shuri like that. I think she's fine. I think she's a good champion. I just don't think that, but so outside of this meta, she's not as strong as she normally is. So it would definitely not be her. Arcade, I do like Arcade a lot, but I don't think that he's as viable as Shocker, Sentinel, or Guardian in most metas, but I do like the champion a lot. Prowler, he's very low sig. I don't want to invest the sigs in him right now because there's too many other champions that I'm trying to invest sigs in. I think Prowler at sig 200 is extremely strong. Maybe not even sig 200, but close to it. And mine's like sig 20. So we have a ways to go, but I do like Prowler as well. So Civil Warrior, obviously I love my Civil Warrior, but it's just not going to happen right now. But it will happen at some point. All right, last class would be the Mystic class. And one of the ones that I'm considering taking up is Kindred. I think Kindred is still extremely strong. I think his degen is strong. I think he's a very solid dual threat. Granted, he's going against class advantage. Other matchups he doesn't shine in as well, but nobody that I know aside from Count Nefaria has a degen resistance like that. So yeah, he just absolutely slaps both ways, but primarily he's largely known as a defender, but he can be utilized offensively because I do it all the time, guys, and he's great. The second consideration that I have taking up to rank 3, honestly I haven't given it that much thought, but it would probably be Sasquatch, I think he's still great both ways. So he's a tank and even more health. Obviously is a longer time for a stall option. And the last one that I would consider taking up to rank 3 would be Enchantress. Enchantress is just nasty. Her kit is simple once you understand it, but she just can be very uncooperative. So yeah. But that's it for me, guys. Honorable mentions for this would be Mordo and Rentra and Spiral. I love Mordo. He's in my top 5. But I don't use him as often as other champions. Spiral is amazing, but she's largely an attacker. She can be utilized on defense. She has one trick that works, but I don't know. Once people start figuring it out, I don't think she'll be a defender at all. But right now, since most people don't understand her, she can be. And Rentra is just a beef stick, period. And he's unawakened, so I really don't. I mean, some people argue he's better unawakened, but I like the silver stars, man. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. Agree, disagree, or just tell me who you are planning on taking up from each class if you want, or who you honestly want to take up. Either way works for me. Just be respectful. That's all I ask. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.